Greetings all! Last night I went to the World Cosplay Summit Special Fest, which was held in Zepp Diver City. Basically it was a concert set up to promote the World Cosplay Summit event in Nagoya, which I think is next month or the month after. Essentially it was a short cosplay parade and then various performances by anime related singers. In other words, it was the first truly geeky event I've been to since I got here, unless you count the One Piece attraction in the Tokyo Tower. Now I was invited by a Japanese friend who was working on the staff that day, so I got in for free, which was a big bonus. Now I was invited because I've done a fair bit of cosplaying myself. It's been a few years since I've done it seriously, but I used to go to at least a couple of conventions a year. Here's some footage of me on a stage swinging around a very large sword. I'm pretty sure I was invited in hopes I would do some cosplaying myself, but unfortunately I didn't bring over any costumes from England with me, and I haven't bought any while I'm here. I don't think I plan on making any here. I don't have a sewing machine or even a needle and thread, and I don't have any idea where to buy fabric, or indeed the fabric glue that, if I'm honest, was the integral part of all the costumes I actually made. But at some point I want to buy a costume and do some cosplay events. Anyway, yesterday I was strictly an audience member, and since it was essentially a gig anyway, I was fine with that. Things were kicked off in grand style by Kageyama Hironobu, who is best known for doing the theme song from Dragonball Z, or Dragon Ball Z if you prefer, Cha-La, Head Cha-La. We didn't have satellite TV when I was a kid, so I never really watched Dragon Ball, so the nostalgia factor isn't really there for me. But Kageyama also sang the theme song for Psychic Force, which was one of my favourite games on the original PlayStation, so it was still awesome seeing him perform. Now in Japan you're very much not supposed to film concerts. I know the rest of the world is basically a sea of mobile phones held up to film all the artists, but that's very much not done here. Still, I'm a clueless gaikokujin, so I couldn't help but film a few little bits and pieces. Kageyama genuinely has a very impressive voice, that to an extent is like the 80s distilled. After him came the guy who could essentially be called his successor, Kitadani Hiroshi. He's best known for singing We Are, which is the first opening for One Piece. He did a short 3-song set, but We Are was his closer, and it was a lot of fun to sing along with. Afterwards the MCs did a little skit, largely involving a man in a dress. And then came the third performer, much to the crowd's delight, voice actress and singer Tokui Sora. Now I didn't really know who she was, but she's very popular for being in Love Live, and she also got her start, I believe, in Milky Homes. To drive this home, she wore a Milky Homes costume, and also sang songs from Love Live. After her came an amusingly goofy boy band called Route 5. At first I thought they were a very much manufactured boy band that some Jimmy show had thrown together. They fit that mould nicely, even falling into very stereotyped categories. So there was a tall, mysterious one, a rough one, a small, cute one, you know what I mean. But of course this was an otaku event, so I found out later that these guys were actually utaite stars. That's basically like being a singer famous on YouTube, only it's for the Japanese video sharing website Nico Nico Doga. On there there's quite a big culture of taking otaku related songs, especially Vocaloid songs, and performing them yourself. They call that utaite, and these 5 guys had all made a name for themselves by doing that. So these guys filmed themselves, probably in their bedrooms, singing along to Vocaloid songs, and got enough recognition from that that when they got together in this group, they got signed by Avex Entertainment. So they've done pretty well for themselves. The fact that they all looked like hosts certainly didn't hurt either. Apparently they performed, I think, the 17th ending song for the Fairy Tail anime as well. But I have to say, I haven't got nearly that far with Fairy Tail. After that we enjoyed a cosplay parade. After the show there were 2 incredible Evangelion cosplayers in the lobby. One was cosplaying Shinji in a plug suit and the other was cosplaying Ava Unit 1. And I would love to wear a plug suit of that quality. But I'm jumping ahead, because the concert wasn't over yet. After them came the big surprise guest. Though honestly, as our entire section of the audience were wearing her favourite orange, most of them with tops that had her name on the back, I don't think it was that big a surprise to most of the audience. We got a performance from very high-profile voice actress Tomatsu Haruka. I think here she's mostly admired for her role in Turaburu, but for me probably her most recognisable work is as Asuna in Sword Art Online, and as Morgiana in Maggie. She had an impressive voice, great makeup, and a really energetic stage performance. And the otaku went wild. That's when I realised I'd never really been around otaku before, not in their own sort of cultural context when there's a performance going on. You know, I've seen footage of their strange dancing and extremely energetic jumping, but seeing it in the flesh was really quite entertaining. It was almost more fun to watch the audience than to watch the performer herself. After the special surprise guest, they got everybody back on stage. And with the cast assembled, they had a mass sing-along. Can you guess what it was? It's probably more obvious if I mention he didn't sing it earlier on. Yes, Kageyama Hironobu led the entire crowd on a mass sing-along of Chala, Head Chala. Now in Japan this is very much like seeing the Pokemon theme song performed, or for a slightly older generation maybe You Got the Touch from Transformers. Everybody can sing along in full awareness and celebration of how silly it is. Kitadani Hiroshi sang some of the verses, which made it even more special. Generally, a great time was had by all, I believe. I had a thoroughly excellent time geeking out in a way I wouldn't be able to do back at home. And I'm actually very tempted to go and check out the main event over in Nagoya. Anyway, that was my report on my geeky day out. See you next time.